I want to talk about this link to psychokinesis and training. So if you are a leader of an organization, if you are a founder of a business, if you are a non-for-profit, a government agency, whatever you are, and you would like to have your team focus on an outcome and have them be successful in the most magical, synchronous, easiest, fastest, most efficient way, then there are some things to learn from telekinesis, because when you sit in a room and you decide that you are going to attempt to affect physical matter with your intention, you will hear every storyline that you've ever had about why things are the way they are, why physical reality is the way it is. Are you powerful enough to do these things? Can you allow it for yourself? Are you worthy of it? Do other people get it and you don't? You're going to hear every belief system. And you don't have to wait for something like a crisis, like being dragged off of the top stair of a flight of stairs, to decide that you are going to choose a target, focus on it with your team, and see what happens, and treat it like an experiment. And this is really what I recommend, is every psychokinesis training is an experiment, because if you are to focus on the outcome and only gauge your success by the outcome, then it's going to be hard for you to receive that outcome. There's little incremental belief steps that happen along the way. There's no coincidence that I was thinking about flying right before that happened, because I knew that I was ready for it. I knew that everything I had done leading up to that moment, the next logical step was for me to fly. And when you're doing psychokinesis training, the same thing happens, where you're bending a spoon or you're magnetizing needles or you're doing something, and all of a sudden you'll know it's about to happen. And you'll get a lock on it, and a little incremental change will happen. You'll notice something shift a little bit, and you'll be like, aha, closer. And a lot of times this is what happens, is a little incremental in the psychokinesis trainings. And so what's really beneficial about doing psychokinesis trainings is that you don't have to wait for things to go badly before you decide to do something different, to believe something different, to try something different. And so it's when I do psychokinesis trainings with groups, it is not about the result you're getting. It is not about what happens. It's something that is much deeper than that. It's not about just moving something that's outside of yourself. And in fact, if you really understand the nature of reality, there is nothing outside of yourself. You're just having a conversation between you and you in the psychokinesis training. But it's not about that. It's not about trying to move a feather across a table or to bend a fork with your mind. It's not really about that. It's about discovering how many invisible limits you have accepted as real. So even as you're watching this video, notice, what did you come up against when you heard this story of me flying? Like, what was your story that happened? I know my experience. I know that I flew, but you have an interpretation. And so you might be thinking, that's amazing, I want to do that too. And you might be 100% knowing that you can fly. It might take you a little while. You might be believing it's going to take you time and energy and training to do it. You might be believing, well, she can do it, but I can't. She's special. Something about her is special. None of this is actually true. This physical reality really responds to who you are, not what you think, who you are. Who are you being? What do you believe about yourself?